Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss and explain the social stratification in Great Gatsby, Fitzgerald. Here we have the novel, The Great Gatsby. Fitzgerald offers in this novel many themes like justice or power, greed, betrayal, and the American dream, and so on. But here, the most important thing in Great Gatsby that Fitzgerald regarded as a brilliant piece of social commentary offering a vivid peek into American life in the 1920s, which means Fitzgerald gave us a vivid picture of the American society and life in the 1920s. In this novel, what Fitzgerald done? Fitzgerald carefully sets up his novel into two distinct groups, but in the end, which means in the end of the novel, each of these groups has its own problems and to contend with, of course. But he gives each one of these groups the reward, if we can say it, in the end of the novel. By creating such distinct social classes, old money, number one, the new money, number two, and number three, no money, which means Fitzgerald classifies the society or the American society at that time into three classes: old money, new money, and the third one, no money. Through these groups or social classes, Fitzgerald sends strong messages about the running life, let us say, through society or the American society at that time. The first and most obvious group Fitzgerald attacked is, of course, the rich. The rich in The Great Gatsby, Fitzgerald presents two distinct types of wealthy people. First, there are people like the Putnam, Jordan Baker, who were born into wealth. They inherited the money, from their families, from their fathers and their grandmothers and their grandfathers. Their families have had money for many generations. Hence, they are old money because they, as I said, they inherited the money from their families, as we will see or portrayed in the novel. The old money people like the Putnam, the Jordan Baker, don't have to work because they have a lot of money and they are inherited from their families, as I said, from their fathers and their grandmothers and their grandfathers. They only spend their time or spend their days speak about business arrangements, parties, music, and so on. They spend their time amusing themselves with whatever takes their fancy. A lot of entertainment, as I said, a lot of parties, dressing clothes, brilliant clothes, rich one, like Daisy, Tom, and Miss Jordan Baker. And the distinct social class they present are perhaps the story's most important issues. Now we come to the new money, imposing distinction on the other people here, Gatsby of wealth, like Gatsby. This group based not so much on how much money one has, but number one, where that money came from. Number two, when it was acquired. So, for the old money people like the Putnam or Jordan Baker, the fact that Gatsby and all the people who belong to the new money has only just recently acquired his money is reason enough to dislike him. They didn't love the Gatsby and the other people like him. In their way of thinking, يعني they hate all the people who belongs to the new money, like Gatsby and many other people. He cannot possibly have the same refinement. يعني their origin are different from the old people. For example, sensibility, manners, the tradition, the customs, and also taste. All of it different from the old money. Not only does he work for a living, but he comes from a low class background. Not like them, not like the old money. Suppose they come from what? A high class background. In their opinion, of course, in their means, he cannot possibly be like them. He cannot possibly be like them. The new money people like Gatsby and all the people like him cannot be like them. And in many ways that works in their favor those in society's highest class. Okay. Old money are judgmental and superficial, while also failing to look at the essence of the people around them and themselves too. Always the old money people, they are superficial in their furniture, in their dressing, in their manner, in their styles, where they fail to look at the essential thing inside people. They always take care about the appearance, not the inside of people. They live their lives in such way as to prepare their sense of superiority. The people with newly wealth, though, aren't necessarily much better. Think of Gatsby's parties. They attend his parties. The guests in the party of Gatsby drink his liquor and eat his food, never once taking the time to even meet their host. They didn't care also, they didn't wait for an invitation. So all this, the society, just a society of showing up. The appearance is the most important thing in such kind of society. Also, when Gatsby dies, all the people who frequented his house, where they always stayed in Gatsby's house every week, attended his parties, mysteriously became busy elsewhere. By the way, no one attend Gatsby's funeral, only Nick Carraway. All of them neglected Gatsby when he could no longer do anything for them because he died. He died. After all, it was only recently they were without money and most doors were closed to them. Here, the most important thing, these two lines. As Fitzgerald shows, however, their concerns are largely living for the moment, steeped in bartering and other forms of excuse. So, such kind of people, both the old money people and the new money people, both of them, they live for the moment. They live their living for the moment. Only busy themselves with the parties and speak about business, arrangement, about appearance, clothes, luxurious cars, and luxurious holidays. So they live for the moment. Now we come to the third group of Fitzgerald distinction of the American society. Fitzgerald uses the people with no money to convey a strong message. Nick, number one, although he comes from a family with a bit of wealth, doesn't have nearly the capital of Gatsby or Tom. In the end, though, he shows himself to be an honorable and principled man, which is more than Tom said. This is number one, Nick Carraway, because you will see throughout the novel, he is the narrator of the novel, and he refuses to be a member of such kind of showy society, like the society either of the old money, the Buchanan and Jordan Baker, or the new money, Gatsby and the other people with him. And the second character, Myrtle. Myrtle is another story. She comes from the middle class at best. She's trapped, as are so many other, in the Valley of Ashes, and spent her days trying to make it out. In fact, her desire to move up the social hierarchy leads her to her affair with Tom. Not because Tom loves her or she loves Tom, no, because she finds in Tom maybe a way to escape from her miserable life in the Valley of Ashes. Because of the misery conditions in her life, Myrtle had distanced herself from her moral obligations. Yani she left all her morals, her religion, her principles, and has no difficulty cheating on her husband George when it means that she gets to lead the lifestyle she wants. Tom at the same time accepts her because not because he loves her, but because Myrtle is no more than a toy to Tom and to those he represents. At the end, Fitzgerald here has a keen eye, and in The Great Gatsby presents a harsh picture, a severe one, a very miserable picture of the American world at that time he sees around him. The 1920s marked a time of great post-war economic growth. Fitzgerald captures the frenzy of the society well. Although, of course, Fitzgerald could have no way to foreseeing the stock market crash of 1929. They have assumed Squidward views, mistakenly believing that their survival lies in stratification and reinforcing social boundaries. They erroneously place their faith in superficial external means such as money and materialism. They emphasize on money and materialism, and they lose all the other sensitive, pure, beautiful, moral principles in this life, which neglecting to cultivate the compassion and sensitivity. In fact, separate a human from the animals.